Hallelujah.
You know when you have friends in high places and they like help you with stuff? You know, first class to Tampa this year. When I go to WrestleMania March 31st, look out. I have an outfit for it. I have a full
First class outfit.
I have a first class flight fit. So it's like this pink jumpsuit, like a jumpsuit, whatever. Not a jumpsuit. It's like a tracksuit. That's what it is. Jumpsuit is one piece. A tracksuit is like the sweater and the bottom, right?
Yeah.
White sneakers. I'm gonna have on my shades that look like this with the blue tint and my AirPods Pro in. Remember I told you I'm gonna be like, is this first class? Okay, first class. They're boarding right now. Okay, cool. What are you? You're boarding C? Oh, you're boarding you're basic economy. Oh, first class. Excuse me. Thanks. I can't wait to get Dwight's mad. What is he doing in first class? Oh, because I have a first class ticket. You have fun in main economy. You have fun in basic economy. You didn't get to pick your seat. Delta picked it for you.
Oh my God.
Live from Brooklyn, New York. Come on, whoa. You're listening to the Culture 316 podcast.
What's going on, everybody? This is Jay the Creative.
I am the threat. The HNIC. Y'all, I'm tired.
Is HNIC stand for head nigga in charge?
Yes, it does.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm tired, but that don't mean that I'm not any of these things just because I'm tired. Hello, I'm the threat, the HNIC, Mr. Money and Magic, the icon Angelo Carter, and don't you forget it.
And welcome to another episode of Culture 316.
We're back.
Where we push the conversation and culture of professional wrestling forward into the 21st century. We are back.
On video.
On camera. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Anywhere that you could be listening to podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeartRadio, everywhere where podcasts can be streamed.
I know what I am. I'm First Class Carter. That's what I am.
First Class Carter. I'm gonna put that as your lower for this week.
So you're not gonna do the stars like we agreed, like the threat, HNIC.
Listen, we got a quick turnaround.
Whatever.
But we do have a loaded episode for you guys today, starting with our trending wrestling topic. So, as you may or may not know, Matt Hardy's WWE contract expired this past week. So I think the question is, where will he go, if anywhere?
I don't think he's going straight to AEW.
Really?
I don't. I think it's the obvious thing, right? I do think that role of the leader of the Dark Order, right?
Yeah.
Is because I don't get to watch AEW as much as I want to. I think that role is kind of tailor-made for him in some kind of way. Like, it would be perfect because the Dark Order, they're like a heel faction, but they're like a comedy heel faction. To me, I don't see them as like, especially with all like the Join Dark Order type thing. Like, I don't want to say comedy, but they're more like a light-hearted heel faction, in my opinion. So, but while I can see him going there and being like the rule of the roost type thing, I definitely think that he is going to maybe look at his options first. Look at who's willing to give him the most money.
Right.
Because we're seeing how we all thought Marty Scurll was going to AEW, and in the 11th hour, he re-signed with ROH and became head booker.
Right.
We all pretty much know that the Revival is trying to leave WWE at this point. That's something that I wanted to discuss as well. I guess we can kind of
segue into
bookend that.
Right.
Use that to bookend this whole topic. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't think he's going straight to AEW yet. I think he's going to look at all his options. Rebby says she goes where the money is, and period. Okay. So yeah, I think he's going to go where, and I don't think it's about the money. I think WWE has given him so much money. I think he's saved. I don't think it's about the money for Matt.
His property been secured.
I really think that he loves wrestling. Right. Which is what 98% of the people in the business, they love wrestling. Right. And the money's good. The money will keep them afloat, especially if they have kids. And Matt has 3 kids. And listen, Rebby must got good, because I'm sure she's going to pop out another one.
She's shooting
in the next 12 months. And she has adorable kids. So, You know, as far as I'm concerned, I feel like Matt Hardy's going to look at all of his options, and I'm excited to see where he goes next. Like I can admit that when it first got popular, I wasn't a fan of the broken stuff.
Yeah.
But once I just kept watching, I was just like, dude, like this guy really reinvented himself and got himself re-signed to WWE off of the strength of him, the broken stuff of him being so popular.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think here's the thing. If this were 3-4 years ago, I would say he's probably going to look at his options and then from there going to figure out like, oh, I'm going to sign here, or just do like the indies for a little bit and then sign to a company. Mm-hmm. I feel like he is going to go straight to AEW. The reason why I say that is because as far as a company that will offer Matt a combination of a light work schedule to be able to deal with his kids, creative control so that he can do what he wants. Because to be honest, I think it is wrestling, but I also think that it's creative control. I think that Matt was in a particular spot where his ideas weren't being utilized, and he wanted to go someplace where his ideas will be utilized. So I believe that the light work schedule, the creative control, and the money. AEW, I mean, when Chris Jericho signed with AEW, he said that it was his most lucrative contract to date.
Tony Khan is rich.
Tony Khan is super rich.
Shad, whatever his dad's name is. Yeah. I hope I'm not butchering it.
Both of them rich.
They got the coins.
They got money. So it's just like, I feel like when it comes to a combination of all three of those things, I feel like off that strength, Matt is definitely going to sign with All Elite Wrestling. Now, to kind of go off of that and to talk about the Revival leaving, I believe that that's another team that we can see in AEW. There were rumors circulating around that the Revival had, filed a trademark for the Shatter Machine, which is their finishing move. But I'm guessing that if they were to go to another company, that would be their tag team name. Do you see them making a jump to AEW, or do you see them going elsewhere?
Oh, definitely. I definitely think the Revival is going to go to AEW. Apparently, WWE filed a trademark on February 24th for No Flips, Just Fists. They also filed for the Mechanics, the Revival's previous name that they used in NXT. And this is after the Revival tried to trademark Top Guys and Say Yeah. So basically, the Revival they want out. Yeah. Like, they are ready to go.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
And, I think at the beginning it was a case of bad timing when the Revival came up, because I was at that Raw when the Revival came up. They were over. They were over, right? They had just come up from NXT, just had that crazy, incredible triple threat with DIY and Authors of Pain. Great matches, right?
Right.
The thing is, and I think the thing that really kind of messed them up was, oh my gosh, I forgot. I always forget what I know. I can tell them apart. I just forget which one got injured first. I think it was Dawson got injured first. Dawson got injured first, and he was gone for 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
And then Dash got injured, and then he was gone. So that cooled them off super, super quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And then it didn't help that when they bring him back, they have him in these stupid matches against, oh my gosh, what's the name of this team? Lucha House Party.
Lucha House Party, yeah.
I'm tired, y'all. Lucha House Party, they have them in these stupid matches against them, 3-on-2, Lucha rules, whatever.
Lucha House Party rules are stupid.
They weren't treating their tag team division like they were supposed to be, and you have tag teams here who love what they're doing.
Right, and you have good tag teams at that.
You have great tag teams. So the point is, I kind of felt like they, while the beginning it was luck, the ball was definitely dropped when it came to the Revival. And I feel like at this point, you have put them in the ring with Luchasaurus and his
Jurassic Express. Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy. Put them in the ring with Jurassic Express. Put them in the ring with Marquand and Isaiah Cassidy.
Yeah.
Put them in the ring with the Young Bucks. Finally.
Oh my God.
Put them in the ring with Kenny and Adam Page. Adam Page, right? Yes, because Hangman Adam Page. Okay, because I was like, wait, no, his name is longer than that. Put them in the ring with the Lucha Bro. Like, these are matches that would
tear the house down,
destroy the house. Like, just like these buildings would be insane. My only thing is that if the Revival does go to AEW, because you never know. We all thought Mike Kanellis was out of there and he re-signed. If he decides, if they don't go to AEW, if they do go to AEW, I just don't want them to waste all of their good matches week after week after week.
Yeah.
Get him in there and get him immediately against the Young Bucks. Because that's a match everybody wants to see.
There's a story already built into that.
Story already built in.
You don't really need to tell it.
Immediately. That's the next pay-per-view match. And
it also helps the fact that AEW only really has 4 pay-per-views a year.
With the space to add more if they wanted to.
But I don't think they're gonna add more. I think they're gonna stay to 4. Revolution, Double or Nothing, All Out, and like something else. Fyter Fest.
Yeah, but I'm saying I only said with the space to add more. Like, they could add more if they wanted to.
Absolutely.
They could do a 5th or a 6th pay-per-view. I don't think they're going to go with the 12, the 1 pay-per-view a month.
Right.
But I definitely think that they can extend them maybe to 6. I think their pay-per-views are a little too spaced out. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm used to the 12 pay-per-view a month formula.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So that's my thoughts on the Revival.
Now, so we want to know your guys' thoughts. And Matt Hardy. We want to know your guys' thoughts on the Revival and Matt Hardy. Are they heading to AEW? Are they heading elsewhere? Be sure to drop a comment below and let us know. So we're going to go up to our next segment, which is Big Up. So All Elite Wrestling hosted its first pay-per-view of the year, Revolution, live from the Wintrust Arena in Chicago, Illinois. But the biggest story coming out of that night was the fact that Jon Moxley has become the AEW World Champion. In under a year, Moxley has not only debuted at a new company after walking away from WWE, but has made himself into a star. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to big up Jon Moxley. So what is your takeaway from Jon Moxley going to AEW and becoming the AEW World Champion?
Well, we definitely covered his exit very extensively.
Yes.
What was it, last season?
Yeah.
During the revamped season 1, or the official season 1, whatever, of Culture 316. We definitely covered it a lot. So you guys can go back and listen to our thoughts on his leaving. But I think within this year, because he left in June it was June or April or May?
April of 2019, because he debuted at Double or Nothing in May.
And then he did the podcast in June.
Right.
That's why I'm thinking June. So he left in April, and then he, popped up in May at Double or Nothing, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I look at Jon Moxley and I don't even see Dean Ambrose. He looks so happy, and there's so much they could have done with this Dean Ambrose heel turn during October of 2018. They could have really, really, really done something. They could have really transformed him and made him into a completely different person. And, he obviously said what happened, and he covered what happened on his own. So kind of to just see how happy he is now and see how comfortable he is in the role that he's playing, to see how much he's enjoying himself wrestling, because that's what it's all about.
Right.
It's about it's about the love of the sport. He loves wrestling. Wrestling is clearly something that has saved him from a lot of different things, so it's something that he loves, and I am excited for him. I definitely think that he can do some things as a babyface with this championship. I definitely see some really good matches in the future. I could even see him and Chris Jericho going as far as doing one of his what did they call it? What did they call the match that he and Kenny had?
Death match or something like that.
They had a special name for it. I don't know, but death match. I could definitely see them going that far with him and Jericho. So who knows? All I can definitely say is I'm super excited for him. Renee Young was in the building.
Yes,
she was in the building. She got to watch him win the championship, which I know was super, super, super good for her. I know she was so excited for him. I'm just happy for him. I'm happy that he is in a place that there's no toxicity.
Yeah.
For him, because for him, clearly for Seth Rollins, it's a place that he enjoys.
He
enjoys.
What I'm saying? He's Team WWE.
And that's not even no shade, but like for Seth, that's some place that that's his home. For Roman, that's his home. But for John, this is where he belongs.
Right.
And do I see him coming back to the WWE in the future? Never say never.
Yeah.
Goldberg.
Absolutely.
Kurt Angle.
Hulk Hogan. Terry. Terry.
We don't mention him.
But to kind of piggyback off of what you're saying, I agree with you. I feel like when he left WWE, and especially when he went on that podcast with Jericho, all eyes were on him. When you go and you accuse the biggest wrestling company in the world that they lack the creative insight to push their wrestling product into the modern era,
right.
When you accuse a wrestling company, your previous employer, of just not being a conducive work environment for wrestlers, now all eyes are on you. And when you say you want creative control, it's like, okay, you want creative control? Here it is. Now do it as you please with him. And this man, Jon Moxley, took the ball and he ran with it.
He ran
with it in two companies. Because remember, he's still employed under New Japan. He still owes the IWGP United States Championship.
True.
And he also holds the AEW World Championship. And ever since he's been in control of his character, people love him.
Yeah.
People love him. People love his character. And I feel like this AEW World Championship win means so much because Dean Ambrose winning the WWE Championship, he was doing it as somebody that he wasn't. Jon Moxley is Jon Moxley. John is doing it as John. This is him reaching the top of his proverbial mountain as himself, the way he wants to portray himself. And I feel like this means a lot more to him than pretty much anything he's done in WWE, with the exception of the debut of the Shield or him winning the tag titles after Roman, found out that he had leukemia and things like that. So it's just great to see John thrive in an environment that was meant for him. He could just go and have fun. And I don't know if him and Jericho are going to have a match like the one that him and Kenny had, because Kenny and John can have those type of matches because they've been all over the world, and that's just something that they're used to. Chris Jericho, as amazing as he is, 50-something years, 49 years old or 53 years old? I think he's 53.
Chris Jericho is not 53 years old.
Oh, Goldberg is 53. My bad.
I was about to say,
Chris Jericho.
Do not try to play my son like that.
Chris Jericho is 49 years old.
Do not try to play my dad like that.
And he is a phenomenal wrestler. I think he was a fitting first AEW champion. However, I don't think that he's going to be doing death matches. I just don't.
Well,
I'll be surprised if he does.
I mean, but they have the space to do it. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, absolutely.
They have the space to do it. I don't think it'd be as brutal as the Kenny Jon Moxley match. I definitely think it'd be toned down by like 85%.
Right.
But I mean, in that case, then just don't do it. Or maybe it's still cage, or maybe something like it'd be cool. I think it'd be cool to see them go at it one more time in like a big, I don't know, match.
Right. I think they are going to have that rematch, though, because...
Yeah, they're going to have a rematch because of what happened on AEW this past week.
Absolutely.
But I wonder what they're going to do. Like, are they going to do a stipulation? Are they going to do false count anywhere? Are they going to, So, let us know what you think.
Let us know what you think. So, we're going to go into a new segment called Really, Though. And this is just a segment where we see something online posted by a wrestler or whatever the case may be, and we kind of ask or kind of question the authenticity of the statement. Is it really facts?
You're trying to get me in trouble before I even get to a wrestling ring.
Well, I feel
Look at you.
I feel like this first topic is something that won't get you in trouble at all. So, All Elite Wrestling.
Next thing you know, Bully Ray gonna be like, What you said about me? I ain't say nothing.
No, I didn't say nothing. All Elite Wrestling is known for producing some of the hottest emerging talent in the business. And the biggest and brightest of them all is the face, quote unquote face, of All Elite Wrestling, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, also known as MJF. In a recent interview with Sports Illustrated, MJF went a little bit in depth with his character and said that he feels that he is as old school as you can get in the modern era. So I have to ask you, is MJF the most old school heel in professional wrestling today?
I definitely think so. I think a lot of, I'm going to be honest with you, I think a lot of heel heat, especially in WWE, is written like, oh, I'm going to get heat on the town. I'm going to get heat on stupid stuff. Like, as far as MJF go, like, MJF has, like, I got to think about this. Because personally, I don't think MJF has, like, heel heat.
Right.
I think the people love him like a babyface.
Right.
And I think he just does more stuff to.
Since when? Like 2 weeks ago.
You're lying. Oh, see, because I wasn't here,
You
2
wasn't
weeks
here
ago.
2 weeks ago.
Okay, I'm sorry, but finally, it was taking him too
ghetto.
long.
Way too ghetto.
Yeah, he was a little in the past there. It's 2018, where we're in the future. It's 2020.
I hate you so
I need
much.
to stop. Anyway, going back to what I was originally saying, I do think that MJF has some old school qualities.
Yes.
I definitely think that he is a good heel, or he tries his best to be a good heel to get the people to hate him.
Right.
But it's because he is so good at his job, people love him.
Right.
So I think personally, I like MJF, but I've said this before, and I can't say it how I said it before, but being a heel in 2020 is not an excuse to do some FS. If you know what FS means, you know what it means, but it's not an excuse. And you will not be putting up your middle finger at my child. Now, because I'm in the business and I know that this is like your gimmick.
Right.
And you're probably not like this when you close your door to your house. Oh, I'm fine with that.
Right.
Yeah, put up your middle finger at my child. I'm going to laugh with you, maybe. And we'll laugh together. Ha, 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 ha. Okay, cool. We'll get over it. If I don't know who you are and I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm going to invite, I'm going with my child to this wrestling thing. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And you decided you're going to put up your middle finger at my child. I'm going to bust you in the back of your head.
Swinging on you.
I'm going to bust you in the back of your head.
Force.
Because I don't play about the kids. I don't play with the kiddies. I don't do that.
That's a
So
fact.
you're not going to do that to my child. But it's different because I'm a wrestling fan.
Right.
And I'm a wrestler. And I'm in the business. So I know what you're doing. Like, I know that, But as far as I'm concerned, you're not finna put up your middle finger at my kid. And I don't know who you are. I will bust you in the back of your head, fool. Right? Boop.
Right in the back of my
That's
head.
it.
Not mine.
Right in the back of your head. And,
But-
you're just not going to talk about me. You're just not going to talk to me like you got 6 heads, because I could have 12. So.
Not 6 and 12. But here's what I will say. I do believe that he is old school in the sense that he keeps kayfabe up everywhere, meaning that he's not just a bad guy on screen. He's a bad guy at the meet and greet. He's a bad guy in the television interviews when he does press. He's a bad guy everywhere. So now, granted, you put your middle finger up at my 7-year-old child. I'm swinging salvation out of you. But I do believe that MJF is the most old school heel in professional wrestling. Now, that doesn't mean that he's the best heel in professional wrestling. I personally believe that right now, Randy Orton is working wonders with his storyline against Edge right now. But I do believe that MJF is a top heel. I believe that he is the most old school heel. But enough about what me and Angie think. We want to know what you guys think. So be sure to tell us, comment, tell us how you feel if you think that MJF is the most old school heel in the modern era of professional wrestling. So, actually, we're going to start with Today in pro wrestling history.
Yay! You stole my gimmick.
I did.
Infringement.
This is his segment, and we're going to be talking about an episode of TNA Impact.
I saw this. Oh my gosh!
From March 8th, 2010. This is 10 years ago. So we're going to go from the bottom of the card to the top. We have a tag team match where Abyss and Hulk Hogan went against AJ Styles and Ric Flair.
You mean Abyss and Terry Bollea?
Terry Bollea.
We don't address him by his gimmick name.
You're right.
Because you're a racist, and you always will be called out by your real name, Terry.
Hello. Anyway, so we have Terry and Abyss versus AJ Styles and Ric Flair in a tag team match that ended in a draw.
Of course it did.
We have Doug Williams, who is the X Division champion, putting his title on the line against Chris Daniels and Frankie Kazarian. We have the TNA Knockout Tag Team titles where Madison Rayne and Velvet Sky defeated Angelina Love and Tara, as well as Sarita and Taylor Wilde. We have Rob.
Sarita.
Yeah, I totally forgot who that was.
Oh my gosh! Wait.
We have.
No. Okay. Sarita. Rosita was.
Yeah.
Was Thea Trinidad.
Yeah. So we have Rob Van Dam versus Sting, which actually lasted only 9 seconds as Rob Van Dam pinned Sting. We have Eric Young versus Sean Waltman, better known as X-Pac. We have a handicap tag team match where we see James Storm and Robert Roode, also known as Beer Money, defeat Jeff Jarrett. And then we see the main event of Abyss and Terry versus AJ Styles and Ric Flair. This time with Abyss and Terry picking up the win in a no disqualification tag team match. So, 10 years later.
10 years later, and we're still leaning on legends to sell pay-per-views. Listen, don't get me wrong, okay? I got love for Goldberg. I think he's awesome. Really, though? I think Goldberg's awesome. I think Goldberg and Roman is the more marketable match, especially if you're going to sell the pay-per-view rights to another over-the-top service and try to make somebody pay $64.99 for a pay-per-view, which if you try to make me do that, I'm going to smack you.
And we're going to talk about that as
We'll talk about that at some point.
We're going to talk
next
about
week.
that at some point in time.
The only thing I got to say is Wilkins, Yardley, Janelle, y'all paying for that, and I'm going to just come see it at the parties. I'm not.
At Legends, I'm
not paying for that.
I'm not.
So when y'all get ESPN Plus, when y'all get the bundle with Hulu and Disney Plus, and if they do it like that, then do it. That's it. That's all I have to say.
But we're gonna go into Elimination Chamber predictions, and I think this is actually a pretty interesting card considering that there's no WWE or Universal title match. But then again, it's never that during Elimination Chamber. So we're just gonna start from the bottom.
It's also SmackDown also starts in like 6 minutes.
Literally 7 minutes.
So it's Friday. We're recording this Friday.
Yeah. If you
It's not Sunday. Yeah, I mean it's dark outside. So.
But we're gonna start with Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak. Who do you have?
Did you tell them where it's taking place at? Do they
Elimination
know?
Chamber. I don't know where it's taking place, but
We gotta be professional.
I'll look it up.
Thank you.
So, the Elimination Chamber is actually taking place in Philly.
So at the Wells Fargo
At the Wells
Arena.
Fargo Center in
Wells
Philly.
Fargo Center.
This Sunday, March 8th. It's going to be streaming live on the WWE Network. The kickoff show begins at
Are you going
6
to
p.m. Huh?
You're going to
Yeah,
Legends?
of course I'm going to
Oh, okay,
Legends.
I'm going to
Of
Legends.
course I'm going to Legends.
Well, am I? I don't know. I might be broke.
I
might be broke.
I'll go in debt for this. But
For Elimination
for Elimination Chamber. Listen, if I'm not going to Mania.
Oh, yeah, because you're not going to WrestleMania. Okay.
So I might as well. So, first match on the card, Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak. Who do you have?
Wait, that's happening?
That's happening.
I haven't watched in a very long time. Drew Gulak.
I agree.
I think Drew Gulak pins Daniel Bryan.
Yep.
And then I think we get them two either in some kind of tag team match, or I think we get a match between Drew Gulak and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania.
That would be great. I personally think that would be a great match to have at Mania because that's a dream match. It's a submission dream match. I second Angie. I believe that Drew Gulak will take the W simply because the story as it's been built is Daniel Bryan just continues to underestimate Drew Gulak. So I feel like Drew's just going to shock Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
And that being in Philly, it's a good crowd to do that in.
Oh, wait, it's his hometown?
Philly is his hometown.
Philly is...
Drew's hometown.
Oh, so Daniel Bryan.
Really?
Are you kidding me? Vince don't let people win in their hometown?
I still
Love
say
you, Vince.
I still say Drew. But we're going to move on to the next match. This is for the United States Championship, and we're going to have Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo. Who do you have and why?
I don't care. I just want it to stop. I want this to. I just want this to stop. I don't care.
I don't care either, but I'm gonna go Andrade.
Humberto is gonna win by disqualification because Angel Garza is gonna interrupt the match, and then Rey Mysterio is gonna come out, and then it's gonna build to a fatal 4-way ladder match at WrestleMania. So Humberto by DQ. But please, after WrestleMania, I don't want these four to fight each other ever. Like,
Listen,
I don't
y'all
want
better
it.
just form the LWO. And just
don't want that. I don't want that. I didn't want Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin to last 200 years, and I don't want this. I don't want it. I don't care. Just give me Sasha Banks versus Bayley at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
All right. So we're going to move on to the next match, which is AJ Styles versus Aleister Black in a no DQ match. I believe that AJ Styles is going to win because he's going to be building momentum for a WrestleMania
No
match.
disqualification?
No disqualification, which means that the other members of the club can be involved.
What makes you think The Undertaker's not going to show up in Philly?
I never said that he was. I just said that he was going to.
No. I said, what makes you think that The Undertaker won't show up in Philly?
Because it's the Elimination Chamber. I'm not saying that he won't show up in Philly. I feel like if it was a Raw, he would. I feel if it was a SmackDown, he would. But it's Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, and it was just Elimination Chamber last year when Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston went, 15 minutes at the end of that Elimination Chamber and really built Kofi Kingston. All I'm saying is I think Undertaker is going to come in and do something. I don't know. Aleister was handed his first singles loss on the main roster, right?
Yeah.
So, because I don't watch Raw. At least, well, I'm off Mondays. I just don't watch it. I can't even make an excuse. I don't care. AJ.
AJ? I'm going to go with AJ. Next match. The Street Profits versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy for the Raw Tag Team titles. Street Profits.
Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy.
What?
I think they should have shaved the Street Profits win for WrestleMania. I think they won it too early. Like Raw and Brooklyn.
Yes,
cool.
Raw and Brooklyn.
Raw and Brooklyn, cool. But Raw, why not WrestleMania? Like, you build the Street Profits, you have them, but I know why. But you literally build the Street Profits. You have them beat Authors of Pain here or at the last show. You have them come to Elimination Chamber. They lose here due to some funny business, and then you build to them at WrestleMania.
Which makes sense. But I still think that the Street Profits are going to win.
I don't. I just think that it's just one of those situations where the Street Profits got them, and then they're going to pull a hot potato and put it right back on Seth and
Buddy.
And no, that's not his
Disciple.
name. Seth and Murphy, because his name is not Buddy. He's not your buddy, pal.
He's not your buddy, pal.
And I think that they'll probably do like a big 4 or 5 man at a 4 or 5 way at WrestleMania.
Which I can see happening.
They're full of 4 or 5. I'm sick of that.
I'm sick of the multi.
I want a 1-on-1 or 2-on-2.
But anyway, we're going to move to the next match. Braun Strowman versus Cesaro, Sami Zayn, and Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental Championship. Braun. It's
I think this is
3-on-1.
going to be a really heel-heavy show, though.
It is a heel-heavy show. I think that Braun is not going to be the heel, though. Braun is going to be the face going into
No.
this.
I wasn't done giving my answer.
Okay, go ahead.
I was saying that I think this is going to be a very heel-heavy show because I think Braun is going to lose.
Really? But the question is to who? Because the person who picks up the pinfall gets the title.
I just thought about that. That actually makes a lot of sense. So that's going to cause a lot of infighting.
Infighting.
The three of them.
Which,
Maybe we get like a 4-way at WrestleMania.
for an Intercontinental title, I don't mind seeing that. But
Braun. I'll go with Braun.
yeah, I just feel like this is just going to ultimately make him look strong, or this match is intended to make him look strong. Now, the next two matches are going to be Elimination Chamber matches. The first match is for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. The Miz and John Morrison versus The New Day versus Heavy Machinery versus Glory Dolph versus the Usos.
Versus who?
Glory Dolph. Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler.
Why would that even be a name?
Because it's a disgusting name for a disgusting team. So
why are they disgusting?
I just don't like. I don't like them. I just feel like Robert Roode is a single star, and I feel like Dolph is a single star.
Oh, you feel like they're throwing together a team?
It's a throwing together team. So who do you got?
Who do I have?
Who do you have?
I have. Who are the champions right now? Miz and Morrison.
Miz and Morrison. I agree. I think they're going to retain, and I don't even want to go further into that. And the next match is for presumably
Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, Shayna Baszler. We don't even.
Are you kidding me?
Are you dumb?
Yeah, Liv Morgan.
Yeah, Natalia.
Natty. Yeah, Natty and Becky at WrestleMania.
That's a WrestleMania.
Yeah, after their barn burner at SummerSlam, and I'm not even joking. Their match at SummerSlam was really good. But my point is, yeah, it's gonna be Asuka after she got submitted or pinned twice.
Hell no. But anyway, that wraps up this week's show. We are tired.
I'm very tired.
And I'm hungry.
But remember 3 things always. Moisturize. Stand Sasha Banks. And don't let this bird app get you smacked in 2020.
Period. And we'll see you guys next week.